Did you enjoy the little concert? Thank you. We are going to give you a morning concert 15 minutes before every morning, before the start of the session. And this is a little louder version, but starting tomorrow, we'll give you a little lower decibel things, kind of meditation music. So we hope this concert will become a catalyst that could make you ready for the full day of catalytic science. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Jae-sung Lee of Pohang University of Science and Technology. It's my great pleasure to preside over this opening ceremony. The first speaker this morning is Professor Sang Moon, the organizing chairman of the 14th ICC. He will deliver a welcoming address. Professor Moon.
Dear President of the International Association of Catalyst Society, Professor Alex Bell, the President of the Korean Academy of Science and Technology, Professor Hyun-gu Lee, and President of the Korean Institute of Chemical Engineers, Professor Hwa-young Lee, and the distinguished guests and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the organizing committee, I'm very pleased and honored to welcome you all to Korea and to the 14th International Congress on Catalysis. We have done our best in preparing for the Congress during the last 4 years to make it rewarding to all the participants. In the Congress, 6 plenary and 13 keynote lectures will be delivered by distinguished scholars, including the Nobel laureate Professor Schrock, and also planned are 272 oral presentations and 1,317 posters grouped in 3 sessions according to their subjects. An industrial session is scheduled in parallel with other oral sessions on Tuesday, which is tomorrow, to introduce recent developments of catalytic technologies in industries. This special session is organized for the first time in the history of International Congress on Catalysis to emphasize the importance of industrial research in catalysis. We changed the overall program from the initially proposed 4 parallel sessions and 30 minutes for each presentation to 5 sessions and 20 minutes for presentation to accommodate high demand for oral presentations. Yet we regret that many abstracts requested for oral presentation could not be accepted but switched to the poster presentations. The total number of abstracts submitted to the Congress was 1,960 from 67 countries, out of which 1,589 were accepted and 371 had to be turned down. So this is an acceptance rate of about 81%. The decision was made based on the evaluation of 2 reviewers and also on the consideration that the Congress is participated by many scholars and laboratories from the world. I would like to use this opportunity to acknowledge the efforts of the reviewers who returned their opinions about the allocated abstracts in time in spite of their busy schedule. The number of presentations in this Congress, which is 1,589, will be slightly larger than in the case of the Congress in Paris, which had 1,505 total presentations. Besides the scientific presentations, we also have 24 companies participating in the exhibition program, which will be given in the same area as the poster presentation during the Congress period. I would like to encourage all participants to come for the Congress excursion, which is a visit to Korean folk village on Wednesday. You will enjoy experiencing the traditional culture of Korea together with on-site performances and foods there. We are very happy to present 83 awards to young scientists who are at the age below 35, together with the financial support for their registration by the co-sponsorship of the IACS and the 14th ICC. The organizing committee of the ICC also provided 20 scholars from developing countries with partial financial support for their trip to Seoul. All these works were possible by the generous sponsorship of 21 companies and the supports from 5 organizations of Korean government. I would like to use this opportunity to express our deep appreciation for their support and partnership. Korea is a very dynamic country, and the city of Seoul takes pride in its long history as the capital of Korea for more than 600 years. So I hope you will enjoy the mixture of the modern and traditional flavor of Seoul during your stay. Finally, I sincerely hope that the participants of the Congress, who are the true organizers with their excellent scientific contributions, will be able to find many new ideas in their research through discussions during the Congress, and also carry a good memory of their visit to Korea home. Thank you very much for your participation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Moon. We have invited two gentlemen to give us a congratulatory remark. The first speaker is Professor Hwa-young Kim of Seoul National University, who is also a current president of Korean Institute of Chemical Engineers. Professor Hwa-young Kim.
Good morning, President and Council members of the International Association of Catalyst Society, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As the President of the Korean Institute of Chemical Engineers, I welcome all of you to the International Congress in Catalysis, held every 4 years and also known as the Olympics for Catalyst Research. Korean Institute of Chemical Engineers was founded in 1962, and now it has nearly 5,000 members. In Korean Institute of Chemical Engineers, 13 research divisions were created to further develop each research areas. Among them, the Division of Catalysis and Reaction Engineering, established in 1985, has the longest history, and more than 400 members are actively working in this division. Chemists as well as the chemical engineers actively participate in this division, and they closely work together. As a community, this division had led the research activities related to catalysis in Korea. As we all know, most chemical processes are built around the chemical reactions, and proper choice of catalyst is the key to successful chemical reaction. Thus, the members of this division has played a very important role for the development of the Korean chemical industry. Now we face serious challenges for future energy and environment. Recent high oil prices send out a clear message to us. But I believe that catalysis will be the key technology to overcome such challenges. In this Congress, more than 1,000 papers, including 6 plenary lectures, will be presented. I hope that many good ideas are exchanged and you can further develop your research areas. I also wish all participants to enjoy the dynamics of Korea, where tradition and modern culture coexist, as well as to obtain useful information at this Congress. I hope that 14th Congress held in Seoul will contribute to future research activities on catalysis around the world, and also serve as an opportunity for Korea to further develop its catalyst technology. Last but not least, I would like to thank Professor Moon and his organizing committee members for preparing such a wonderful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Kim. Next speaker is Professor Hyung-gu Lee, President of Korean Academy of Science and Technology. He is also a emeritus professor of Seoul National University. Professor Lee.
Good morning, Honorable President Alex Bell of the International Association of Catalysis Societies, Professor Richard Schwach, the Nobel laureate, plenary lecturers, Professors Prince, Dumesik Tatsumi, and Noel Skop, and Dr. Van Berge. council members of IACS, distinguished speakers and guests, and ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of the science and technology community in Korea, I have the honor and privilege to extend my warmest welcome to all of you and to address a few congratulatory remarks on this auspicious occasion of the 14th International Congress on Catalysis. The catalysis community in Korea has waited for many, many years for this event. And with this opportunity at hand, Professor Sang-Wook Moon, the chairman and his organizing committee, has been working extremely hard with utmost caution to prepare this conference as it is convened here today and for this week. First of all, I'd like to congratulate them for their outstanding job. Korea has developed itself tremendously, probably at the fastest rate in the world history over the past half a century, particularly so in politics with fully blossomed democracy and in economy to be ranked on the 12th or 13th in terms of the GDP and the trade volume. Clearly, science and technology has been the major contributor to such a rapid development, and we have a great pride in this. Korea is ranked on the 7th worldwide for the competitiveness in the field of science, and on the 6th in the field of technology. As an indicator, the petrochemical industry enjoys the 5th largest capacity of ethylene production in the world. It is widely recognized that the major player for such a rapid and remarkable development of the country has been the extremely well-educated manpower with extremely well acquired frontier knowledge and experience from home as well as from abroad. The total amount of R&D investment was more than $30 billion last year, 1/4 of which came from the governmental budget. This represents 3.23% of the GDP of the country, which is known to be the highest in the world. Furthermore, the new government has promised to raise the R&D budget to the level of 5% of the GDP in the year 2012. There are green lights everywhere, and the future for science technology looks quite bright here in Korea. When it comes to the situation with the catalysis community, just looks like a miniature of the situation with science and technology. Here I say we instead of you or they because I am a member of the catalysis community in Korea. There were only about a score of experts working on catalysis in the country around 1980, and for sure we were a latecomer to be a part of the world community of catalysis. With hard work and enthusiasm among ourselves and with strong interaction with experts from other countries, however, we have developed a great deal for the field over the past less than 30-year period. The community has grown up to have more than 500 active members. One can easily count a good number of success stories for the development or application of industrial catalysts. There are quite a few well-established young scholars with international reputation. A fairly large number of talented students in science and engineering are continuously attracted to this field of catalysis and catalyst engineering. The government and industry support has been very strong. Last year, the government funded $420 million for the R&D activity in nanotechnology and $1.2 billion for the environmental technology. As I understand, big portions of these funds were invested for the R&D activities in catalysis. This is the reason why we are so confident to invite and host the 14th ICC in Korea, which is the most traditional and prestigious conference in this field. Incidentally, this is the second ICC to be held in Asia after the 7th ICC that was held in Tokyo 1980. I hope the third one in Asia may not come only after 28 years. The organizing committee certainly deserves a hearty congratulation on assembling an outstanding program. They have brought together extraordinary speakers. For me, it is a personal honor to be here and very humbling to be among such accomplished scholars. As important as the speakers, though, are the topics that will be explored here this week. These issues, the vital importance to catalysis scientists and engineers. The theme of this Congress is catalysis as the pivotal technology for future society. While this is certainly an appropriate theme, the organizers of this Congress have transformed it from just a theme into a true opportunity to look forward together. As we spend the next 5 days together, we'll have the opportunity to discuss the past accomplishments of our profession, our concerns today, and the challenges of the future. Certainly as we have turned past the challenges into accomplishments, I'm sure that we can convert tomorrow's challenges into new opportunities. Working through these challenges as individuals and as a profession, we can contribute ever more to enhancing the quality of life in every corner of the world. As I see it, this is the greatest challenge and the most important opportunity we face as the catalysis profession. Once again, congratulations on what is sure to be an outstanding 14th International Congress on Catalysis. Finally, I wish all the participants may have fruitful days and be benefited as you hope. In addition, I hope all of you may spare some time to enjoy the well-known Korean hospitality, the beauty of Korea with many historical treasures, and the harmony of long history and modern civilization. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor Lee. By now, you might have noticed that all previous three speakers are either former or current professors of Seoul National University. This is kind of the monopoly, isn't it? The final speaker this morning is Professor Alexis Bell, the current president of International Association of Catalysis Society. He's going to give us the official opening remarks. Alex?
Professor Moon, Professor Lee, Professor Kim, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. As president of the International Association of Catalysis Societies, it gives me great pleasure to welcome you here and to open this 14th Congress on Catalysis. I'd also like to begin by expressing my appreciation to Professor Moon and all of the organizing committee here in Korea for successfully bringing us to this wonderful location, for organizing what I'm sure will be a very stimulating program, and for introducing us to Korean culture. And as you noticed, this already began with the early morning ceremony. I'm sure we will learn more as the week progresses. I want to make a few remarks about catalysis. Catalysis has played a critical role in the efficient conversion of petroleum to fuels and chemicals, the production of inexpensive polymers with finely tuned properties, pharmaceuticals that are also tuned to do good but not harm, and a myriad of other products, most of which we take for granted. In fact, it's hard to see how modern society could exist if there were not the field of catalysis, because catalysis enables the chemical transformations that are needed for virtually all of the products that we consume on a daily basis. The success of this field as a technology rests very heavily on continuing advances that have been made in the characterization of catalysts and also understanding how the structure and composition of catalysts is related to their performance, and in particular, activity and selectivity. And this progress has come through a steady development of analytical methods which are used to characterize catalysts at the sub-angstrom level and increasingly smaller level with the years going by, to give us a better understanding of the dynamics of catalytic processes, which today can be studied at sub-millisecond timescales. And we've seen during the last 20 to 30 years the increasing role that theory has played. In fact, today, many experimental studies are accompanied also by very fine theoretical studies. Much of what I've described has been the result of work that was carried out in the latter part of the 20th century and the beginning of the 21st century. And some might even say that all that needed to be discovered and learned about catalysis has already been accomplished, and that what remains is simply to apply the lessons that we have learned from the past. However, those of us who labor in the vineyard of catalysis, I think, recognize that this is certainly not true, and that there are many important challenges that still lie before us. And if you reflect for just a moment, it's apparent that the era of cheap and abundant petroleum as the primary source of fuels and chemicals is slowly beginning to pass, that we are entering an era when we will depend more and more heavily with time on new feedstocks, primarily heavy fossil fuel feedstocks such as tar sands, shale, and coal. And in the longer term, we will learn how to use biomass in an efficient and effective manner. There's also a need to develop means for using solar energy to convert water into hydrogen, water and CO2 recovered from the atmosphere to make synthesis gas so it can be converted back into fuels and chemicals. And we will need to learn how to make efficient catalysts for fuel cells that will burn either hydrogen, methanol, or a variety of other fuels. As you'll notice, all of these processes depend on catalysis. So I don't doubt that all of us here in this auditorium will have many, many problems to work on for the rest of our careers, as will the students who are currently with us in our laboratories. Now, I'd like to end with a comment that I made yesterday at the reception. I suspect that only maybe 10 or 15% of the audience heard the comment because of the excitement and activity of enjoying each other's company. What I said last night is that the ICC, the International Congress on Catalysis, is very much like the Summer Olympics. They happen to come with the same frequency every 4 years. They'll happen to be in the summer. But in contrast to the Olympics, where there are winners and losers, and the whole objective is to identify who gets the gold medal in each event, here at the International Congress, we don't compete. We contribute to each other's science and knowledge and understanding of our field. So we bring forward a distillation of the best that has happened in the past 4 years since the last Congress. We share this knowledge. We discuss, we debate. We may not have always agreement, but the dialectic process that we go through ends up in refining the whole field. So I would like to wish all of you a successful week here at the International Congress on Catalysis, the 14th such, to enjoy the presentations, learn from them, to discuss with your colleagues the meaning of what you learn, and to enjoy each other's friendship. So with that, I close and wish you a very successful and pleasant and productive stay here in Seoul. Thank you.
Thank you, Alex. This will conclude the opening ceremony of this 14th ICC. Let's give it, all the speakers big hands again. Before finishing, I have a few announcements on the conference, so you can leave. The first, the oral presenters, please submit your presentation material to the Bureau's hall in the second floor. The second is in parallel with the technical session, we also have the exhibition session. And exhibition is going on in the Convention Hall 11. All the exhibitors pay the handsome money expecting your visit. So please go there when you find the time. And also, all the coffee is provided at the exhibition site. So the coffee during the coffee break is provided at the exhibition hall. The next is the lunch. You are provided with the lunch coupon. You can use it. It's like a cash. The amount is on the coupon. But finding the place is a challenge, even Koreans. So we are now on the third floor. The reception desk in the first floor. This is the northern end of this building. If you turn around the corner, there's one restaurant, Old Kim's restaurant. You can have the fusion type the dishes there. But more you can find, you're here, okay. More you can find if you go down, the one floor down, the basement level, we call the COEX Mall. There you can find the lot of restaurant. The restaurant, the designated restaurant would have the sign showing the ICC sign, showing the designated restaurant. Okay, finally, the following the opening ceremony, there will be the second preliminary lecture and Heinemann Award lecture by Jim Domesik. So don't go away. Stay, please, remain seated. Thank you.